Imagine your commute adding hundreds of dollars a year, just by crossing a state line. Wild, right? I'm Morgan Lane, your safety-first car guy, and welcome to Recall Roadmap with Morgan. Today I'm ranking the best states to own a car based on real numbers, not vibes. I pulled ValuePenguin gas stats, insurance studies from ValuePenguin, and dug through state DMV fee charts so you don't have to. Here's the big picture. The average American pays around $1,180 a year for full coverage insurance, and gas sits near $3.07 a gallon nationwide. For many families, fuel alone can swallow about a third of the car budget. That means a small change by state can make a big dent in your wallet. Ever wondered which state actually saves you the most money on owning a car? Drop a guess in the comments for the lowest insurance premium. You might think a big Sunbelt state wins it all, but think again. Some tiny, quiet states punch way above their weight. In a minute, I'll show you where insurance is dirt cheap, where gas is even cheaper, and where fees sneak up on you. Let's kick off the top 10 and start stacking savings. Number 10 is up first. Number 10 kicks off with Kansas. Flyover state? Maybe on a map, not on a budget sheet. Here's why it earns a spot. Kansas is a steady all-rounder. Bole tracking shows gas hovering around $2.70 a gallon in late 2024. That is well under the national average, and it matters if you rack up miles. Fill a 15-gallon tank, and you're dropping roughly $40, not 50 or 60 like in some coastal states. Insurance in Kansas tends to sit around the national middle. It's not rock bottom like a few northern neighbors, but it isn't punishing either. And registration and fees are pretty straightforward. No wild plate surprises, no big one-time hits. If you commute across the plains or do weekend road trips, those pump savings stack up month after month. I always tell drivers, boring can be beautiful when it comes to car bills. Kansas doesn't wow you in one category, but it doesn't sting you anywhere. And that's how it sneaks into the list. Solid, calm, predictable. And yes, there's even cheaper gas ahead. Buckle up, because the single best state on fuel is still to come. Number 9 brings us to Iowa, and I'll say it plain. It's a quiet money saver. Gas in Iowa was about $2.74 a gallon in late 2024. That keeps weekly fill-ups friendly for long commutes up and down I-80. Pair that with insurance that often runs below big city levels, and you get a 1-2 punch that feels great over a whole year. Why does Iowa look good on premiums? It's a mix of calmer roads, fewer dense traffic corridors, and steady enforcement. Fewer crashes and fewer injury claims keep rates from spiking. Add in a simple registration setup with no shock fees at the counter, and it's easy to budget. I like Iowa for drivers who don't want extremes. It offers cheap fuel without the hard trade-offs you see elsewhere, and its premiums don't jump like they do on the coast. It won't beat the absolute champs for insurance, but it delivers balanced savings every month. If you're moving for work or school and want predictable car costs, Iowa is a safe bet. And the next spot on our list brings a southern twist that nudges costs even lower for a lot of drivers. Number 8 might surprise you. Alabama is a sleeper deal. Gas often lands near $2.74 a gallon, which keeps daily commuting easy on the wallet. But the bigger win is insurance. Bankrate and other trackers put Alabama's average full coverage premium around $2,082 per year, a bit below the national norm. That gap can mean a few $100s back in your pocket every single year. Fees and taxes are also pretty reasonable. You do pay sales tax and a normal registration, but there isn't a huge one-time plate hit lurking. It all adds up to something simple. Alabama rewards steady drivers who want low hassle and lower payments. I've worked with plenty of owners who moved from Florida to Alabama and were stunned at the difference in premiums. Same car, same driver, different zip codes, very different bill. That's the power of state rules and risk. Alabama doesn't take the crown in any single category, but the combo is strong enough to lock it at number 8. And coming up, we head to wide open country where space, roads, and purchase costs come together in a very friendly way. Number 7 is Wyoming. where the highways feel endless and the costs stay calm. Let's break it down. On fuel, Wyoming sits in the middle of the pack, roughly a bit above $3 a gallon in late 2024. Not the cheapest here, not the most expensive either. Insurance is also steady. Rural driving and lighter traffic help keep claims in check, so premiums don't leap the way they can in dense urban states. Where Wyoming really helps your budget is at the purchase counter and renewals. Taxes and registration are straightforward and tend to be lighter than the big coastal markets, which is a relief when you sign for that new-to-you truck or SUV. For folks hauling gear, towing, or logging, long miles between towns, that mix is gold. Nothing flashy, nothing harsh, just dependable bills. I've looked at owner budgets here and the theme is the same. Predictable fuel, modest insurance, and clean paperwork. You feel it most over 3 to 5 years. Wyoming won't wow you with headline rebates, but it won't ding you with surprise fees either. Next up, we head south to a state where gas prices make road warriors grin every time they fill the tank. Number 6 is Texas, and 2 words do a lot of work here. Cheap gas. In late 2024, Texas pumps were around $2.65 a gallon. That's among the lowest anywhere in the country. If you drive big miles between cities, those dimes per gallon turn into serious annual savings. Insurance in Texas tends to be moderate. It's not the lowest on this list, but it's nowhere near the heavy hitters like Florida or Michigan. You will see a state sales tax on vehicle purchases, and of course, Texas is big, so you may drive more. But fuel savings have a way of smoothing all of that out for high mileage owners. I've seen oilfield crews, sales teams, and everyday families save hundreds a year just because they buy gas here. One quick pit stop while we're in the middle of the list. If you want clear, data-backed car advice that saves money, hit subscribe and stick with me. I post these breakdowns to help you plan with confidence. Now, back to it. The next state climbs the rankings not with the cheapest gas, but with a different kind of savings that can chop thousands off your total cost. Number 5 is Colorado. And no, it's not the altitude talking, it's incentives. Gas sits around $3 a gallon, so not a pump champion. Insurance is a little above average. But here's the deal that vaults Colorado into the top 5. The state offers big electric vehicle rebates, often worth several $1,000s on a new EV, on top of the federal credit. For any driver leaning electric, that is real money at purchase time. I've worked with buyers who knocked well over $5,000 off the sticker once everything was stacked. That changes the math fast, especially when you combine it with lower fuel costs per mile on electricity. Colorado also benefits from fairly safe roads compared to large, congested states, which helps keep premiums from going sky high. So, who should look at Colorado? Eco-minded commuters, mountain town families with home charging, and anyone planning to go electric in the next year or two. It's not about winning every single category, it's about balancing decent gas, manageable insurance, and a huge rebate that slashes upfront cost. Next, we head to a state where insurance savings are so deep, they practically carry the whole budget. Number 4 is Idaho, and this one is all about insurance. ValuePenguin puts Idaho's average full coverage premium around $1,188 a year. That's roughly 36% below the national average. For many families, that's like getting a free month or 2 of car payments back every year. Gas runs mid-pack near $3 and change a gallon, so you're not getting the rock-bottom price at the pump, but you're also not paying coastal premiums. What really matters is the premium line. Idaho's low traffic density and calmer claim history help keep rates way down. I've seen young drivers here get quotes that would make a New England parent spit out their coffee. And the daily experience supports it. Less stop and go, fewer big city pileups, and reasonable repair costs keep the cycle stable. For a driver whose biggest bill is insurance, Idaho is a breath of fresh mountain air. That is why it sneaks into the top 4 without cheap fuel doing the heavy lifting. Up next, we head to a tiny northeast state that quietly holds the title for the cheapest car insurance in the entire country. Number 3 is Vermont, and it punches far above its size. Vermont has the lowest auto insurance in America. average full coverage lands near $1,104 a year. That is about 36% under the national average. If insurance is your pain point, that single number is the reason Vermont jumps into our top 3. Why are premiums so low? Rural roads, less congestion, and a steady claims environment. It's calm up there, and lower risk usually means lower cost. Gas is modest too, often around $3.10 a gallon, so you're not getting hit hard at the pump either. When I help families compare states, a Vermont move can cut their premium so much that it pays for winter tires and then some. Yes, you'll still have normal taxes and fees, but the month-to-month savings are hard to beat. Vermont won't win a fuel trophy, but it blows away most states on insurance, and that's enough to lock in this rank. And now we climb one more rung in New England to a state that mixes very low premiums with simple, predictable costs at purchase time. Number 2 is Maine, and it is a quiet powerhouse for car budgets. Maine's average full coverage insurance sits near $1,116 a year, right in the same bargain zone as Vermont. That's roughly 36% below the national average, and you feel that in your monthly cash flow. Gas prices usually hover just above $3 a gallon. Not the very cheapest, but far from painful. What pushes Maine this high is how all the pieces fit together. Very low premiums, straightforward fees, and a calm driving environment keep cost surprises to a minimum. I've reviewed real owner budgets from Portland to Bangor, and the theme repeats. Low premium, simple paperwork, predictable bills. If you drive a normal 10,000 to 12,000 miles a year and take care of your car, Maine can make ownership feel easy. It rewards safe, steady drivers who want to plan a budget and stick to it. That combination is rare. Only one state edges it out overall, and it does it with one unbeatable lever. You can probably guess it. The number 1 spot rides almost entirely on the price you pay every single time you fill the tank. Number 1 is Oklahoma, the overall champion. The secret is simple. Gas. Oklahoma has the cheapest fuel in the country, around $2.57 a gallon in late 2024. If you drive 15,000 to 20,000 miles a year, those dimes and quarters per gallon turn into hundreds of dollars saved, sometimes more. Insurance here is not the lowest, averaging around $1,956 a year, a bit above the national average. But it still undercuts high-cost states like Florida and Michigan by a mile. Fees and tags are generally low and clear, so you avoid big surprises at renewal. For high-mileage commuters, road trip families, sales reps, and pickup owners, cheap fuel beats everything. I have seen owners move to Oklahoma, keep the same car, and watch their monthly fuel spend drop like a stone. That's why it takes the top spot. It's not fancy, it's not a trick. It's a pump price that makes the math easy and the savings steady. Stick around for our final wrap-up. I'll tie all this together so you can match your driving style to the state that fits your budget best. So, what do you do with all this? I like to keep it simple. Pick your biggest cost and let that lead. If you drive a lot, fuel rules. That is why Oklahoma and Texas rank so high. If your risk and premiums are the pain point, chase the low insurance states like Vermont, Maine, and Idaho. We saw real spreads today. Gas varied by nearly $2 a gallon across the map. Insurance swung by thousands. Michigan's full coverage average has been reported near $4,788 a year, while Vermont lands close to $1,104. That is a massive gap. Remember too, rates climbed about 8.5% in 2023, so every smart move counts more now. We built this list by cross-checking ALSTA fuel trackers, insurance studies, and state DMV info so you can plan with confidence. Thanks for riding along with me on Recall Roadmap with Morgan. If you want more data-backed car guides that save you money, hit subscribe, give the video a like, and share it with a friend who's moving soon. Thanks for watching. Before you go, tell me in the comments, which state did we miss, and did today's ranks change your plans at all?